I had a really hard time getting appointments when I first started and trying to get people interested in my offer consistently. And so I literally just tried to test every single possible outreach strategy. I tried email, Facebook, Instagram, SMS, YouTube, WhatsApp, PayPal, Google Voice, cold call, door knocking. And after testing all those things and literally booking over 5,000 appointments for myself, this has by far been the easiest strategy to get up and running within 5 minutes and get appointments consistently. So I'm going to show you how I do it. So what's the strategy? Well, I have been playing around with Twitter outreach a ton because it's super easy to scale to 450 DMs per day on Twitter outreach without having to get flagged or banned. Almost all other DM strategies like Facebook, Instagram, or WhatsApp is like you can only do 50 per day, and this is 450 per day. There's some really easy, robust tools that allow you to scale to 450 DMs per day that I have been using myself. So the automation automatically sends out those 450 DMs per day for you. Then all you have to do is just respond back and forth to anybody that's interested. Over the last 3 days, I've actually been extremely busy. I haven't been able to even check my Twitter DMs. I've probably gotten at least 30 or people interested just within the last 3 days I still need to respond to. And I've closed 2 deals over the last 3 days just from the Twitter outreach I've been doing. The only problem I've seen so far with Twitter or X outreach, I keep saying Twitter, sorry. The only problem I found with X outreach is that you're limited on the industries that you can target, so your audience might not be on Twitter. So for example, if you're targeting HVAC companies, it's a little harder to find HVAC companies because the way you scrape from Twitter or X, sorry, all you do is you scrape someone's followers. That's like the best way of scraping. And to scrape someone's followers, you need to basically just look at the, just whoever an influencer is in your industry and then scrape that person. So for example, if you are trying to sell video editing services to YouTube creators, then there is a Twitter page just from YouTube called YouTube Creators, and you can just scrape the people that follow that page. But if you're trying to target HVAC companies, there is, I don't really know, personally I don't know of any influencers that specifically help. Jesus, this sun is just ruining my lighting. Every 10 seconds it's getting extremely bright and then extremely dark. I personally don't know of any HVAC influencers that specifically target HVAC, and a whole bunch of HVAC companies follow that person. Now, I did look up HVAC and I found there was something called HVAC.com. They had 15,000 followers. Maybe a whole bunch of HVAC companies follow them. I don't know. So your audience just has to be on Twitter. Like if you're trying to target local service-based businesses and you're selling marketing to them, this probably isn't the best strategy. But if you're trying to target coaches and consultants, for an example, this probably would work really well. So how do we actually set this up within 5 minutes to get leads coming in the door? Well, I have been using this tool called XReacher. This is the automation tool that sends out those DMs for me. They do have a free trial. You get about 50 DMs per day on the free trial. If you want to upgrade to be able to send 450 per day, you can do that. You can also connect multiple accounts with this platform, and they sell accounts. So if you want to buy other verified Twitter accounts, you can do that. You'll also need to verify your Twitter account. You probably don't want to start sending out 400 DMs without being verified on Twitter, because you're probably going to get banned if you don't do that. So I first just connected my account to XReacher. The only annoying part is that I had to also have a proxy. Now I already have a proxy. I use MPP, my private proxy. You can buy a proxy through that. It's like $2.50 with my private proxy. Next thing we do is just create a campaign. When you create a campaign, the first thing you do is just scrape the leads. So these are the people that we want to reach out to. The easiest way to scrape leads, as I said, was just scraping someone's follower list. So we can go to this YouTube creator page and just scrape people that have the keyword creator, influencer, YouTuber, owner, founder, CEO, whatever. We can add those filters where they have to have that keyword in their bio for us to scrape them, and we only want to reach out to those people that have those keywords. You can also remove third world countries. You can add it to where you only reach out to people that have a link in their bio, that have a verification. The next thing we do is set up the message that we want to send. Now they require you to have at least 3 messages, and it rotates through those messages while it's sending them out. What I did is I just kind of had the same exact message. I just changed the beginning or the end. So I said, yo, what's up? Or hey, first name. So I just changed like the intro. And if you don't know what script to use, I have tested every single script under the sun, and I have a video breaking down which one has the best reply rate. Then you select how many you want to send per day, what time of day you want to send, and that's the whole setup process. Okay, so now how do we actually get appointments? Well, when I wake up in the morning, I just check XReacher to make sure it's still running. Sometimes the account gives me issues, or sometimes the proxy needs reconnected, so you just want to make sure it's up and running for that day. It just takes 10 seconds just to reconnect your account if that happens. And then I just look at the replies that I had from yesterday. So let's just go on my phone right now. I'll start recording and I will see my Twitter DMs. So in my Twitter DMs, I have here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, I think. 19 people interested so far today. And I just kind of go through and I try to see who would be qualified, who do I actually want to reach out to, or and the first thing I do is I'll just go, okay, let's go here. Yo, Carson, what's good? FYI, I get these messages on the daily. Yeah, of course, they always get these messages. And what I like to do is, like, if someone says something like this, I say, yeah, I know you receive 1,800,972 messages per day, but hear me out, you know, and that helps me out. So I read their bio, which is right up here, and it says, helping ambitious professionals escape the 9-to-5 and build a portfolio of solo businesses with systems, automations, and AI. I don't really know what that means, but it looks like he's trying to help people that work at, let's say, higher end, let's say a CPA, someone that maybe makes $60,000, $70,000 a year, and they want to escape and create their own business. I think I can help them. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm just trying to see, could I actually help this guy? Let's say you're targeting HVAC companies or YouTube creators, and you just want to make sure that the YouTube creator has over 100,000 followers, right? You just go to their page and just see how many followers they have. That's what I would do first. So I just look at their bio to make sure that this is an offer that I can actually help, you know? So this is an offer I can actually help. So then I just start asking qualifying questions. So obviously he said, hey, I receive these messages all the time. What's great about my offer is I say, hey, this is completely free. And that's why people respond, because even though they receive the messages all the time, I'm offering it for free to start off with. And that gets me a lot more replies. I ask questions like this. I would ask something like, yeah, all good. I know you get 1,829,560 messages per day. I'm willing to help you out for free. Is there any specific strategy you use to get clients? So I just go into the qualifying questions that I have. This flipping sun keeps getting so bright and then so dark, and I keep having to choop, 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 choop. Anyways, all right. So I ask questions like that. Another question I would ask, and these are just qualifying questions to make sure that they're a good fit for what I do, and so that I can actually help them, you know, because I don't want to take on a client or just hop on a call with somebody that was unqualified anyways. And I also ask this question to see if he actually has clients, which I think he does. But I try to see if they actually have clients. If they say, oh, I'm just getting started, I don't have any clients, then I'm like, okay, but they probably don't have the money to spend if they don't have any clients. Another question I'll ask is, how many clients do you have currently? Or what industry do you target? Now, he already has that in his bio. Or what's your main offer right now? Which, again, he already has in his bio. So I'll send this off to him, and I'll go to another one and see if there's, okay, this one said, let's see, give it a shot. This says architect, researcher, creator, foodie. I don't really know this person that I can actually help. This guy said, curious what you got. So let's see his profile. His website says brand expert digital strategist. Cool. So it looks like he owns a marketing agency, helps e-commerce brands, builds websites, high converting landing pages, social media. So this looks like a guy who I could help too. And so I could just reach out to him, ask him the same questions. How do you get clients right now? Now, once I ask qualifying questions and I realize that they are qualified, I'll just ask them usually for a very specific time. So I'll say, hey, are you free to chat tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time? So I'll look at their location. If they're located, so I talked to a guy in UAE, so he was in Dubai, and I'm in the United States Eastern time. So I think he was 7 hours ahead or 6 hours ahead of me. So I had to look at where am I available. So tomorrow at 11 a.m. I'm available. He's 7 hours ahead. I think 6 hours ahead. So that's 5 p.m. his time. So I say, hey, are you free to chat 5 p.m. your time tomorrow? And then all they have to do is say yes or no. And then I ask for their email. It's better than sending a link. A lot of times if you send a link, they're just not going to book just because they forget about it, or that, like, it's a few extra steps that they have to go through to actually book, click a time, put in their email and information, right? But if I just say, hey, are you free at this time? They can just say yes or no. And then now we're booked in. A lot of my calls from DMs are extremely good, where I close a really high percentage of them, like 40, 50% of the calls I get from DMs, just because people can see my profile. I can verify them before we even hop on a call, versus like email or SMS. We can't ask too many questions, because if we do, they stop responding to our emails or our text messages. But with Twitter, they're responding, they're willing to go back and forth. I think it's because you look less like a scam. If you're just getting a random email from somebody, you don't know them, but the offer was good enough, they might respond. This sun, watch it get, look at that. So much brighter for no reason. And the only problem I have with DM outreach is sometimes it's hard to scale. So you can't really do like thousands per day. But with this, you kind of can, because you can buy multiple accounts. It's harder to do that with Facebook or Instagram or the Sun. But I don't really need to scale with multiple accounts, just because this is working really well. So I'm getting more leads than I can even handle just from being able to send 450 DMs per day. So you can test it out for yourself. I'll put a link to XReacher in the description, and you can check that out. If you want a system to consistently get 120 sales calls per month and get all the sunlight in the world, just like I'm getting right now, you can book a call with me below. I love you. I'm going to heaven now.
I'm in heaven now.
So sorry I died. I miss you so much.
I'm happy here, so I'm not coming home. I miss so
Why does it talk like that?